Today I want to talk about the hidden dangers, the hidden poisons in the vermicompost. If you are someone that sifts your bin, sift out all the vermicompost and then dump everything else back into your bin to give it another cycle or two, this video is for you. I will take a closer look at what I am putting back in my bin. I really have not started over from scrap with my bin since I started vermicomposting about 2 years ago. And so I have sifted my working bin. I have all the bigger pieces out here, all the rocks and everything that got intermixed over time with my vermicompost and compostable material. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out completely. Now this is a little bit of a rougher sift, more coarse sift than what I usually do. And you may think that this material is nice and it is ready to go into my garden, but I am going to take a closer look at all of this, give it another sift, less coarse, and see what I come up with. This is the material left over after a more fine sift. Now this is looking pretty good. This can go in my vegetable garden. However, this is the material that is left over from the fine sift. This is the more coarse material, and this is the bin that I will focus on. I've put the material that I just sifted out from my vermicompost back in my bin, which is something I would typically do to give it another cycle and start over with some new material on top of it. And this is the more coarse material that I definitely would have go through another couple of cycles in my bin. However, I want to bring your attention, again, if you're someone who doesn't start over once in a while with brand new organic material and just keep putting whatever you sifted out back in the bin, then this video is for you. I want to bring your attention to what I picked out of that vermicompost. Microplastics. Worms have the ability to eat plastic. However, when they eat plastic, whatever comes out, their digestive system is still plastic. They do not have the ability to turn microplastics into something more beneficial to the planet. What they do, however, have the ability to do is turn microplastics into nanoplastics. This is plastic that is pretty much decomposed, and so I'm not going to put this material back in my bin. I'm not going to put this material in my vegetable garden. I will put it around some cacti and different plants that need some support. However, nanoplastics have the ability to infiltrate your vegetables, your fruit trees, and thus we ingest it. The research on microplastics is still on the newer side. It is still ongoing, but what we do know is that nanoplastics have been found in the brain at higher rates than in the liver, and nanoplastics have been linked to neurodegenerative diseases like dementia. And like I said, the research on the nanoplastics is still ongoing and in the newer phases. So I just want to bring your attention to what you are putting out in your vegetables, in your fruit trees. And if you are someone who's like very organic and health conscious, I urge you to take a look at your vermicompost bin. I guarantee you that you're going to find some plastic. I am not someone that abuses my worms. I make sure that all the plastics are removed from everything I put in here, but I do use the paper shreds from my chicken coop in my bin, and maybe I've been a little bit more lax with the paper that I shred, and I've maybe put some corners of plastic still attached to the cardboard in here. And I am going to be a lot more careful with the paper cardboard shreds that I put in my bin going forward. I am not wanting to discourage you from vermicomposting. Obviously, it is very beneficial to your plants. However, like I said, I guarantee you have some microplastics in your bin, in different stages of decomposition, and the worms do have the ability to turn that into nanoplastics. And the nanoplastics, if you put them around your fruit trees, can infiltrate your vegetables, your fruits, and thus we ingest them. I've dispersed that vermicompost in a cacti garden. There are no fruit or vegetable areas around here, so no danger of nanoplastics infiltrating my vegetable garden. My worm bin has been emptied out and I'm ready to start afresh. I lined my bin with some cardboard all around. I made sure all the plastic, the tape was removed from all sides of the cardboard. Now I'm going to papier-mâché some newspaper on top of that. Once you place the newspaper on top, you're gonna want to add water on there to kind of cement it in place for now. I've got the water in place so the newspaper stays in place. And again, my bin is made of wood, so any excess water can just drain out like it is doing right now. However, I'm going to put brand new shredded cardboard in here so this water can be absorbed by the cardboard shreds. I've got the paper shreds in place, and now I have 2 cups of coarse material. This is organic stuff, tabletop waste from my apple cores, banana peels, even chicken bones, been put through my tabletop decomposter, and I'm going to put this in as part of the grits. It also has eggshells in there. Luckily, my daughter and I have been on a 3-day juice cleanse, and I have plenty of organic materials sitting here waiting for the stars of this video to enter their habitat. Throughout the process of starting over, I have collected most of my worms. Did I lose some worms? Probably. Did I lose some cocoons? Absolutely. But my worms have been sluggish in the old vermicompost container that I had, and I've really not seen them come to the top to eat organic waste. So I'm going to see if this makes a difference. Microplastics are harmful to a worm's gut. They are able to turn microplastics into nanoplastics, but it's not beneficial to the worms. It's not beneficial to the environment. Again, do your research. There's a few videos added at the end of a few screenshots added at the end of this video, and those are some of the links that I use to do my research. I just had a brain procedure done on July 9th, which prompted me to look into brain health, which prompted me to look into the negative effects of plastics in vermicomposting, and the findings of those nanoplastics into a human brain. Thanks for watching.